When news about Rob Reiner began spreading, people didn't react the way they usually do with celebrity passings. There wasn't distance. There wasn't casual scrolling. There was a pause. People said things like, "This feels disturbing. I don't like how this story sounds. Something about this doesn't sit right." And that reaction is worth paying attention to, because Rob Reiner wasn't just a famous name. He was familiar, comforting, tied to family memories, shared laughter, and stories people grew up with. For decades, he represented warmth and normalcy in a public world that often feels chaotic. So when his passing became connected to uncertainty, his wife being mentioned alongside him, the presence of another person, the word suspect entering the conversation, the emotional tone shifted immediately. This wasn't just loss, it was disruption. The human nervous system reacts strongly when something associated with safety suddenly feels unsafe, when a story that should feel simple becomes layered with unanswered questions. People weren't just grieving Rob Reiner. They were trying to understand what happened without having clarity. And that creates a very specific emotional response. Confusion mixed with sadness, shock mixed with discomfort, grief mixed with unease. Here's why that matters. Our brains don't only attach to people, they attach to what those people symbolize. Rob Reiner symbolized continuity, a steady presence across generations, someone who felt untouched by darkness. So when his passing came wrapped in uncertainty, it fractured that emotional image. And here's the deeper point. What unsettled people wasn't only the loss itself, it was the collision between comfort and chaos. The nervous system doesn't like unresolved endings. It searches for explanations. It scans for danger. It tries to regain a sense of safety. That's why this story lingered. Why it felt invasive. Why people couldn't just feel sad and move on. Because when stability is disrupted without answers, it activates something deeper than grief. It activates fear. Not loud fear, but the quiet kind that says, if even this wasn't safe, what is? And that's why Rob Reiner's passing away felt so unsettling. If you want to understand your own emotional blueprint, why certain people pull you in, why intensity feels like chemistry, and why unpredictability feels more real than calm connection, click the link below and take the emotional clarity test. It takes just a few minutes, and it will help you see the patterns driving your relationships, your attractions, and your emotional reactions.